your achievements. Very brief.
Yes, sir. As you know, my name is Akash, and I have been born and brought up here in Bangalore.
Yeah.
I've completed my BE in Mechanical Engineering in 2017 from BMS College of Engineering, Bangalore. And later on, I worked for a company called Collins Aerospace. I worked there as a stress engineer. Then from 2019, I've been preparing for civil services.
Okay, good. So, if you are into IAS, which is the area you would like to specialize in?
Sir, I would like to specialize in water, sir.
Huh?
Water, sir. Providing water for the people, because in my village, in the area around Hassan and all, we don't have water. We get potable water only when it rains and the lake fills up. Even now, the lake, they don't desilt it properly. So there is a lack of water, and whenever I go to my village, we don't get proper drinking water, and the water tastes much worse when I'm there than the water I drink here in Bangalore. So water is one thing that I would like to work upon. Second one would be education sector, sir.
Okay.
Made any study or some collected any information about drinking water problem in Karnataka or the other parts of the country?
Yes, sir. In Karnataka, I have.
You were telling about your village. About the problem, drinking water problem around Bangalore and other places.
Yes, sir. There was a report by ISRO and MOE, sir. They said that drinking water would cause a crisis come 2050, and due to increase in global temperature, we would also receive less number of freshwater and groundwater depletion across the country, sir. Chennai was termed to be the worst affected area. Bangalore, Delhi, and Kolkata and other major cities were also one of the affected areas, sir.
So that means your focus will be on urban, not rural.
Both, sir. Both urban.
Because you have been talking about only Chennai, Bangalore. Urban, yes, is fast growing. Urban, yes, it's a big problem. But what is your take on rural area?
Rural area, yes, sir. If we compare southern Karnataka and northern Karnataka, we find that many of the canals and irrigation canals that the government proposed, it's still not completed yet, even though it has been many years. For example, the Krishna and Tungabhadra canals, they were completed recently, and even when they were completed, it got destroyed or damaged very soon. So yes, rural water and rural electrification is also a problem in India, so not only in urban areas.
Portability, is portability an issue in rural areas?
Portability in the sense, water, drinking water problem.
Yeah.
In the
portability, quality water.
Yes, sir, it is an issue, sir, because one, contamination, sir. There was a report from Ministry of Earth Sciences which said that most of the water bodies in India are contaminated with heavy metals like lead, mercury and all. And they even found Ganga and Yamuna to have traces of uranium, sir. So it is a problem. And two, it is, like I said, desiltation in dams and all. And then focusing water on agriculture than drinking water, sir.
Karnataka people are depending on both groundwater and surface water. Groundwater, which are particularly the places where people are depending on groundwater. What are the main problems which they are facing? What type of groundwater, chemical problems which have been people looking into?
What are the challenges of government of getting groundwater alone?
Groundwater, they get some problems.
Yes, sir. To get groundwater, sir, one, we need to find the proper aquifer. Like we cannot dig it everywhere. If we take the case of Joshimath, it is a sedimentary area. So because there were tunnels and borewells, it started sinking recently. So that we need to find proper area where we can find water.
That's one of the issues. What about the others?
Two is tapification, madam, to send that groundwater into homes.
You get a fluoride problem.
Fluoride, heavy metals, I said. Like
which are the places in Karnataka where that particular problem is?
I'm not aware of it, sir. I have to learn.
Pavagada, you heard?
Pavagada, Kolar, Bagapalli.
What is the reform you want to bring in education?
Yes, madam. One is education curriculum we have to bring in, madam, because there is a wide disconnect in what we learn and what we need in life. So yes, we need mathematics, social sciences and history, but we don't teach children how to lead life. I mean, we've seen people commit suicide if they fail a small exam or even if they get very less number of marks in 10th or 12th. So we need to teach children how to face life than how to mug up. So that is one of the reforms that I want.
Comment on the new NEP policies?
Yes, madam. I have studied the NEP policy, and they are bringing a very good reforms in it. I mean, they want to less the weight that people, the
Now,
children
major
carry.
features, see, because it takes major features of NEP.
One is they have diversified the school into 3+3+4+5 like that, and they have brought intermixability in graduate education.
What do you mean by intermix?
I mean this inter.
But you have to use the proper
I know the proper
terminology for that. No, there is no intermixability.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah. So it is, what you mean is multiple exits and multiple entries. That you are telling as intermixability. Okay, next you
and
tell.
then they've also created a data bank of, I mean the registry of credits that they get. So we can't port from one discipline to another discipline, and multidisciplinary education they are trying to provide, sir.
You have taken the combined defense services exam and passed it but not joined.
Yes, ma'am. That was one of the reasons why I came into civil services.
Why did you take the exam in the first place?
Yes, madam.
If you were not interested, why did you take it?
No, I was interested, madam. I cleared the combined defense services. I wrote the exam 2 times, but I was not medically fit to join the services, so I didn't get selected medically.
What was the disqualification?
One is vision, sir, like sir said. I mean, the forces want a vision of -2.5 diameters, but I have -2.75. And then I had an accident which caused a deformity in the bone on my hand. So it's a permanent disqualification for services.
Do you know anything about riparian disputes?
Riparian dispute, water boundary issues between nations and between states. That is, as recently we had an issue with Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. We also have an issue
What
with
is that issue? Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, what is that
Kaveri
issue?
water issue,
Yeah,
sharing of
that's what,
Kaveri water. And then we have Mahadai issue with Goa and Karnataka.
All from Karnataka outside.
Outside we have Ken and Betwa issue between Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. We have Sutlej issue between Punjab and Haryana. And we have international issues.
Kerala and Pakistan. Tamil Nadu.
Periyar water issue, Periyar dam issue. Sir?
Kerala and Karnataka.
Kerala and Karnataka, I am not remembering. Sir.
Mahadai, recent issue.
And Kaveri itself is,
Kerala.
Kaveri itself is,
Kaveri itself is
Kaveri itself is
Mahadai is Goa.
Goa. Kaveri.
No, Kaveri ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ.
ಅದೇ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
ಪಾಂಡಿಚೇರಿ.
ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ.
Vertical science and
Yes, sir.
what's the
One is the syllabus. The paper one, I find it very comfortable, the mechanical engineering paper one, and I could ace it. But
mechanical engineering or technical?
no, sir, mechanical engineering has 2 papers, sir, paper 1 and paper 2. The syllabus of paper 1, I'm very comfortable and I can complete it without studying also. But the syllabus of paper 2 is where I'm the most weak at. It consists of thermal subjects, which my marks also in thermal subjects is very less. So I thought it would be better if I take another subject.
Now, Pakistan is going through a severe crisis, food crisis, almost starvation. But if you take the hunger index report that we got, it is much ahead of us. You know, India is 107. It is something like that. What's your take on this?
Yes, sir, I would have an opposing view on that because India is called as the food basket of the world. One of our main exports is food items, and we said various food relief to.
And what is the problem with that study? That's what I'm asking.
One is data, sir. The collection of data, it's not proper. They do
How?
like.
How? You can't just generalize. How it's not proper.
Yes, sir. Like when whatever the news report told, it said that they have called some people and asked them about whether they've received food grains or not, and they've collected the data like that. Like it's only very few data points they've taken, sir. It's not complete comprehensive survey. And two, there is also an issue that people think India. If someone says India, people say that India is a backward country, especially in the Western point of view. That could also be one of the reasons to give India lesser ranking in most of the international reports, sir.
No, not there, but there are also other reasons. Like among the 4 criteria, 3 are about children, related to children. That's one reason. The other one is right that they take a smaller sample of about 3,000 for for malnutrition to study, and it's a survey.
Yes.
Maybe that both sides you have to see.
Who would be members of the drafting committee of the Constitution?
Sir, Ambedkar was there, and KM
Who was member of that?
Ambedkar sir was the chairman, sir. KM Munshi and KM Munshi sir was there, and I'm not remembering properly, sir, but
One person from
One South
Karnataka,
Indian member was there.
one person from Karnataka drafted
Yeah.
the entire constitution, first draft.
I'm not aware, sir. I have to study. BN Rao.
Benegal Ram.
What is the between fundamental? I mean, which is more important? Whether it is fundamental right or directive principle?
One, as per the Constitution and Supreme Court judgment, it says that fundamental rights should be given privacy.
In your opinion, which is more important?
There should be a balance of it, sir, because fundamental rights.
You know, correctly you must tell. You can't go to slippery ground. Question is, which is more important? Fundamental right or the directive principle of the Constitution?
I still would
What
say
is the
that
difference?
one fundamental right, it's for the citizen against the state, sir. They are the rights for given to the citizen against the state. If the state commits some mistake, they are the right to protect the citizens. And directive principles are guidelines.
Is it right for you to say it is against the
It's
state?
not against the government. It goes
Not against-
against-
two citizens.
You are telling state, you are not even telling government. You are telling against the state.
Against the state, is
Yeah.
not state as in.
It's not. I mean, you have to think.
What is the first sentence of the preamble?
We, the people of India,
Yes.
give ourselves
You also what?
the Constitution.
Then you have given the Constitution to yourself. How do you say that the fundamental rights are against the state?
Because the government works for
Because
the
you
people.
want fundamental rights, you have created the state. Okay. So what is the directive principle?
Directive principle, they are the set of guidelines for the government to administer the country.
So by common sense, which is more important? Sheer common sense. Fundamental right for which we, the people of India, have given ourselves this Constitution. And directive principles, are they enforceable? Directive principles?
No, sir, they are not enforceable, but some are enforceable when the government makes laws.
No, no. They call it as justiciable, which is justiciable, which is not justiciable. It's a straightforward question.
Or there has to be stronger in the Constitution aspects.
Yeah.
It's only directive fundamental rights.
Where did we get this directive principles from?
From Ireland, madam.
And have we taken it in total?
No, madam, we have made certain
What
changes.
are the changes we have made?
We have included Gandhian principles and liberal principles.
First sentence of the preamble from which country we have taken? We have
We the
copied
people
from
of-
some other institution, from some other country.
I'm not sure, but if I'm allowed to take a guess, it might be America or the French,
Japan.
Japan.
And basically, which is
International-
the basic document for a constitution. To draft a constitution, there was a basic document readily available. Which was it?
The Government of India Act 1935, sir.
International relations, particularly with India, particularly the neighbors, China, Pakistan, which are the main burning issues India is facing with them.
One is the boundary settlement issue between both the neighbors, sir. We settled our boundary with Bangladesh in 2015 also, and in Nepal and Bhutan we never had issues to come with, but with China and Pakistan we have a burning issue.
China was the issue. And, recently, today also there's some news on China's problem with us.
China wants strategic areas like Ladakh, Arunachal Pradesh, and certain sectors of Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. And it also wants it because these are the upper riparian areas for majority of the rivers that flow into India, like Indus, Brahmaputra, and all rises in these regions. That is one issue.
It's a project which particularly China is opposing in Arunachal Pradesh.
Sir, I think India is opposing China on a project on Brahmaputra River. I'm not sure.
Some hydroelectric project.
Why is Brahmaputra called the river of sorrow?
Because it brings floods to majority of the
Why does it
northeast.
bring floods?
Madam?
Why does it bring those floods?
Because it takes a sudden U-turn from the Himalayas, it comes downhill. So it
keeps changing
It
its
keeps
course.
changing its courses and brings in sedimentation also, madam, to those areas.
We have to update ourselves on Ukraine. We
Yes.
have some this Ukraine issue. What's your reading of India's stand particularly? You tell us.
Sir, India's
Do you
stand.
think that India is correct in upholding that Russia one time, Ukraine some other time like that?
Yes, sir. I would agree to India's point of view because India's concern is to stop the war, not to side with any of them. Even since 1950, even since after we got independence, we've been towards the principle of non-aligned. So we are not aligned with any other countries. Hence, I support India's view to balance both Russia and Ukraine, sir.
But India in a way is beneficiary. It's getting oil, cheaper rate. Why would India stop war? Why do you think India will stop? It is a beneficiary. It is being hailed world over. People are telling that even our neighbor who is not in good terms also is praising us, saying that India has got a very good deal, oil and all that. Then why do you say that? Why do you say that we are for stopping the war?
Sir, one is the prices we are getting, is it momentarily temporary or is it permanent? So we have to think of it. The lesser number of oil prices.
So, according to you, government of India is looking into a longer thing than the
Longer,
short term.
yes.
In spite of that, it is getting a benefit.
Suppose how do I throw a live egg on a granite flooring without cracking it?
It will crack, madam. The moment it touches, it will crack.
The question itself says it doesn't crack.
Without
There is a-
cracking.
there is a
Without cracking the
possibility.
granite, we can throw the egg, but
There you have your answer. I didn't tell you what should crack, the egg or the granite.
So you're from Hassan.
yes, sir.
So what is the most important thing that is there in Hassan district that you say it has national visibility?
One are the Hoysala temples, sir, the Belur and the Halebedu, Channakeshava and Virupaksha temples. And two is the Sakleshpur tourism area, sir.
What about Gohuteshwara?
Shavana Belagola, yes, sir. These are also Hoysala temples.
And ISRO.
Monolith.
So
ISRO, satellite tracking center.
Now that you have raised the Joshimath issue you just mentioned, what are the real issues? And is there anything that we can learn from our neighbor, Bhutan?
Yes, sir. The real issue is that unsustainable tourism and development in certain areas because it is a transit route to Badrinath, Yuli pilgrimage areas. People.
Is it because of climate change or man-made?
We can say both, sir. It is because of climate change and because of Himalayan region, but man caused it to accelerate it further. ISRO had given a report in 1976 itself that the Joshimath would sink, but we never expected it to accelerate it to this level. Yes, we can learn from Bhutan. Bhutan imposed a tourism tax or green tax last year, which caused a several concern in Indians also. We can impose certain limits like that when it takes tourism areas.
Is Hassan and Madikeri also in the pipeline of Joshi?
I don't think so, sir. But Kasturi Rangan committee said that if we don't keep Western Ghats like the way they are now, it would lead to certain disadvantages to us in the future. But land subsidence is not a problem in Hassan or Madikeri, sir. There would be certain sand sliding or something like that, but not into the level of Joshimath. I wouldn't expect it to come.
But people died.
Sakleshpura is
People died.
now heading towards tourism.
Yes, sir.
And you also have issue of elephants in Sakleshpura.
Yes, sir.
scared. People are scared.
So why do you think that human-elephant conflict is increasing?
Yes, sir. One is diversification of forest land into agriculture and tourism areas. Last time when I went to Sakleshpur, I observed that for every 1 kilometer there is like 10 or 12 resorts, and the forest area is decreasing day by day. And Sakleshpur is a valley, sir. Elephants don't travel through the valley, but they travel through the plain areas, which are encroached up by this resort owners and also. So there is an increasing number of elephants and even leopard conflicts also.
What are the solutions for that?
One is illegal encroachment should be curtailed, and forest department should map which areas come under the forest and should stop any constructions in that areas. We can also give protection under Wildlife Protection Act and make it some reserve, community reserve or a national park, something like that.
Hassan doesn't have a forest.
Hassan has forest areas.
Very less. area definition is that anything which is notified as a forest under a particular act becomes forest, not just by virtue of seeing what is forest is not a forest. So all resorts or encroachment which are happening now in the Sakleshpura region, or resorts which are coming up not in the forest area. So these Western Ghats, especially the Hasan and Madikeri landscapes, forest cover percentage is, from the forest point of view, from the legal point of view, is hardly 27%. The rest of it is a private holding section.
Yes.
So the developments have their own say, and then we are heading towards Joshimat for sure, in my opinion. The mitigation measures, what you're telling is mere stopping of people from encroachment is not the only solution actually. What other solutions you think out of box that Madikeri and which are the source of drinking water for the Bangalore city? Can you suggest any out of box thinking so that you said we talked about water also, drinking water facilities also. So drinking water for Bangalore should be available for generations to come. What can be the just out of box thinking?
I'm not able to think of it at present, sir, but I'll visit into it.
I'll give one analogy. In New York, there is a forest area. You're not even allowed to go with chappals in that area. That's the one forest area which is supplying the water to the entire city of New York. Similarly, in Sikkim, there is one particular forest patch which is completely reserved it. Nobody is allowed there to go anything. That supplies the entire water to Sikkim. Anything now?
Yeah, we can make it a national park, like I said in my previous answer, sir. But like you said, if it is not defined as a forest in the Forest Area Act, how there is the procedure it takes is too long, and by the time the PMO decides to give it a national park status, it might be very late, I would say.
We should declare this Hasan and Madikeri as a no human go areas. Ensure that the Kaveri is living for generations to come. Otherwise, Kaveri is going to die. The way things are happening in this tourist. Because you talked about the Hasan water problem. What do you think?
You've seen this movie, Padman?
Padman, yes, madam. Akshay Kumar's.
What's your opinion about it?
I watched it a very long time back. If I remember correctly, he designed and manufactured low-cost menstrual.
Is it
pads.
based on a true story?
I heard it was based on a true story.
Who is this person?
I don't remember.
What is the national average of forests in India?
It's at 26 or 27%, sir. But we want to bring it to 33%, 1/3 of the forest area as per Green India mission.
How you will bring?
By increasing number of plantations, we can. There is a scheme called Nagar One scheme. We can increase the number of urban forest areas. We can stop illegal encroachments. We can convert back the forests that were denotified illegally, and then make them forests again.
There's one more thing called agroforestry.
Agroforest.
That has a huge potential of increasing the tree cover, if not the forest cover.
What is the percentage of women in India in labor, in participating in labor? Where do we stand when compared to Sri Lanka?
I'm not aware of the exact numbers.
This is one of the very important issues of economics. In why India is not able to really do it, because we are very low
What
in
is,
women participation in labor.
Today, earlier we spoke about GDP, and we took GDP more, gave it a lot of prominence. What is that which has taken over GDP?
One I would say is Bhutan's gross national happiness product.
No, economy, in terms of economy.
In terms of economy?
We used to study and say GDP of this country is so and so. Now we look at other factors, and one of the major factors that we look at, other factors other than GDP. GDP is now no longer most important. There are other factors.
Yes,
what are the other factors?
One I would say is Human Development Index and the Multidimensional Poverty Index given by World Bank groups, I would say.
You've heard of PPP?
Percentage per capita, that conversion terms, I'm not getting the exact
You've not
definition.
heard of purchase power?
Purchase
parity?
power, yes madam, I'm sorry.
Should we have regional parties in the country, in the political arena?
Yes,
Only two-party system we should have.
No, sir. We definitely should have regional parties in the country because regional parties they work on the issues concerning towards the state. They make the country more democratic than when we compare with a two-party system. In a two-party system, what we get is directions from the center implemented by the state. But regional parties they work the opposite. They get the center to work what they want for the states. So regional parties are very important.
For PPP, with the more popular, in the road construction, etc. What is that for expansion?
Public-private partnerships.
This so you interested in reading Japanese manga?
Yes, ma'am.
What interests you into that?
One, I started it when I was very young, and the stories, I mean, the comics are like that they continue for a very long period of time. The oldest one I'm reading, it started in 1994. I wasn't even born then. So in order to get the story completely, I started continuing to read it.
To introduce the accelerated irrigation benefit program.
I'm not aware, sir.
Any prime ministers can do this?
Indira Gandhi, madam, I would say, sir, but I'm not so sure because
They will go.
the way yes.
Because you are from Assam.
Harry Potter
Will
series.
be definitely the last.
Harry Potter series.
Yes.
Harry Potter.
Yes, sir, I've seen the movies, but I've not read the book.
You're from Karnataka.
Yes, yes, madam.
There has been the Harry Potter that is created had its origin in, I mean, similar kind of a thing was done in Karnataka, and maybe in the 50s and 60s itself it came into being. What are those stories, and where would you read it?
I'm not aware of this,
You
madam.
not read Chandamama?
No, madam. I've heard of it, but I've not read it. So.
Chandamama, Chitrakootana Santati.
Yes.
Similar, same, ditto, almost like.
Have you been reading any books on history? Very popular books are coming on history. Any book did you read recently?
The past 3 years, I haven't had the chance to read it outside of the syllabus.
No, syllabus, history, of course. Yeah, okay. It's okay. There are wonderful books are coming, popular books on history.
What in international relations? Why do you think Marxism failed in Russia?
One, I would say Marxism, even Marx never wanted Marxism to come, madam. He wanted capitalism to be more human. He even mentioned it in his later books. But reason why Marxism failed in Russia is because of the communist parties. It granted power to a single man, which Marx never wanted. Marx wanted power with the workers. He wanted to for it to become a dictatorate of proletariat. That means the government by the workers, the government by the lower class. But what changed is the Communist Party came into power. It gave powers to a single man and brought back the tyranny again.
In China, is it capitalism or communism that is working now?
I would say it is state capitalism, sir. It's not communism, but state capitalism.
So you feel Marx would be twisting in his grave if he saw Russia and China?
I would think so, madam. Thank you. Thank you, sir.